Well, it's great to be with our third graders. I was thinking about today how coincidence, sometimes things happen by coincidence. Like just about a year to the day, you guys celebrated a first sacrament. Do you remember what that first sacrament was about this time last year? Reconciliation. Can you believe it? And that great day when you were here with your parents, and some of you had your siblings here, and some of your grandparents came. We were so overjoyed to celebrate your first reconciliation. And the gospel of that day was the gospel we're hearing today. Remember, we heard the gospel about Zacchaeus. And what are you going to be doing after Mass? You're going to be celebrating reconciliation. So happy anniversary, everybody. You're going to celebrate. Now, we're hearing today the story of Zacchaeus. And we've heard that story once before. Now, there's a couple of things that we learned today about Zacchaeus. What did we learn about Zacchaeus today as you listen to that story?
Zacchaeus is a good man.
Okay, well, he became a good man. He was a tax collector. So tonight at dinner, I want you to ask your parents, why don't people like tax collectors? And they'll tell you all about why Zacchaeus was not popular. And what else do we hear about Zacchaeus? He was very wealthy. Do we know anything physically about him in the story? And why couldn't he? He was very short. Zacchaeus was a very short man. He was so short, he was even shorter than Father Patrick. Can you imagine that? Wow. So, sometimes when you were little and something was going on, your parents would pick you up so you could see what was going on because you couldn't see over the crowd. So Zacchaeus saw Jesus coming and he figured, I can't see him, I'm too short. So he saw this beautiful tree here. Isn't this tree beautiful? I always take care of this tree. So Zacchaeus, he climbed up this tree and he wanted to see Jesus. And he looked over the crowd and he could see Jesus. He couldn't believe it. He thought he'd never be able to see him. And then Jesus comes to the tree and what does he say to him? Come on down, Zacchaeus. What are you doing up there? Come on down. I want to go to your house tonight and have a big dinner. He couldn't believe it. It'd be like if you were waiting in line at the dairy bar and Jesus was walking along and he said, hey, can I come over to your house tonight? I think you'd say yes, right? So Zacchaeus had a big dinner for Jesus to welcome him into his home. And then Jesus had a tremendous effect on Zacchaeus, because as you said, he was a very wealthy man. But after meeting Jesus, he decided to give money to the poor. And if he had cheated anybody, not only was he going to repay them, but he was going to repay them 4 times. It's a great gospel to hear when we're going to celebrate the sacrament of reconciliation, because we all need to change our ways, right? We get into bad patterns. Sometimes we are impatient, or we're selfish, or we don't want to do what our parents want us to do, or sometimes in our classrooms we're not being helpful, and sometimes we're not listening. And Jesus believes in us so much, he loves us so much, he knows that we can change our ways, right? We can be more patient and generous and kind with one another. And the sacrament of reconciliation celebrates our desire to be a better person. And you guys did such a great job last year. And on this first anniversary of your first reconciliation, I know you'll all do a wonderful job after Mass when we hear your confession. So we're going to pray for you that above everything, even though we mess up, Jesus loves us all very, very much.
Thank you for participating in this production of our virtual Mass. Your presence means so much. Every day, so many parishioners connect to OLPH through the digital ministry. The digital ministry is one of almost 80 ministries supported by the parish. That's why your support of the parish is crucial, so we can continue to have the resources to fund all of our ministries that touch the lives of many. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch, and thanks again for your support.